Legion has the option. They're going to be on blue side. Now, in the lobby, both of these teams have they've come to a gentleman's agreement that Urgot is a global ban. We'll see if one of them
so if they
decides
pick
to break
Urgot,
the
then feel
rule.
free to make fun of them.
Yep.
Tease them relentlessly.
Yep. Or give them a high five for suckering the other team.
Yeah, no,
Pretty much.
that's true too.
You
Yeah,
can do either.
depends on your perspective.
Exactly. There you go. So Alistar going to be the first ban out for Legion, and Alistar, solid jungler, solid support.
Yeah,
he's got all that CC, and Malphite going to be the next one.
It's One Bad Brad's favorite jungler. He plays him every game that he can. So Malphite also being banned definitely makes sense. Solid bans.
Yep.
No complaints here.
Nothing. Yeah, these are usually your standard high tier bans so far. Even if you don't really have someone on your team to that really plays Alistar aggressively as a jungle, or just he's a solid support overall, he's absolutely worth it. Morgana being banned next from Legion. Do not want that is the targeted ban straight for Takashi X.
Yeah, I've heard that he does know how to play Morgana.
I've heard a few things. Yes, I've heard he wrecks absolutely, and we've seen it before here. And as much as I'd love to see him do that once more, unfortunately, this will not be the game for it. But Nocturne going to be banned out next. He's been, he's still been pretty damn popular as of recently. He's got the fantastic gank presence. He's pretty speedy in the jungle. It's not too bad. It's not too shabby.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, there's just solid bans, nothing really special, nothing really too targeted. Twisted Fate, that's kind of the first special one. But Takashi X, he does play a lot of Twisted Fates. So that kind of makes sense. We'll have to see. Like, these are such standard bans.
This is usually where they just kind of fly through the bans because you already know what you're banning. But
well, in Twisted Fate, you just got to make a nice little comment too, because if you've been watching our Taiwan qualifiers, we'll let you know. TF has actually been like the #1 most banned champ over for all of our Taiwan stuff, and he's a big threat. He's a big, very commonly used. Nope, Jana. He's pretty commonly used. He's a pretty huge powerhouse. We actually had Type A Assassins this morning actually finally get a hold of the dude, and they wrecked. They wrecked absolutely with him.
Yeah, so I'm curious what Legion will end up picking. They've been playing Nunu in the jungle, I know, recently, so that's one thing.
Yes.
Cruiser, is just a really strong top lane. He's usually plays a lot of Vladimir.
So we've had a few weeks. Oh, it's the Shen first pick for Legion. We've had a few weeks now where the new changes came in. His consume got tweaked. He's been back in the jungle. Where do you feel he's at right now? Actually,
he's back.
He's
back
for
in
sure,
the
for
jungle
solid,
again.
for definite.
Yeah, he's solid. I mean, it's not he's not the greatest thing ever, but he's solid. The big thing with Nunu is as a jungler, you're playing him basically as a support. It's just that you already have another support that you like better, so you're sticking Nunu in the jungle. But the idea is you want to have a late game carry that can benefit from the blood boil.
Nautilus going to be considered here for Fornot. He's been pretty commonly picked recently as well, and Ezreal seems to be going down to the bot lane. So, there's still plenty of support options. You can go for Soraka, you can get that super sustaining bot lane and just farm from a distance. You can also get incredibly aggressive. I know that some teams in our Taiwan stuff, they've been doing Leona with a pretty good combo with Ezreal too, being super aggressive with that. Tarek's a good fit. Most supports are a really good fit with Ez.
Yeah, it's a really common pick for a long time. So, Ezreal is very strong. We'll see how Parole does in that bottom lane. And then Legion, they'll probably pick their bottom lane now. So Soraka is open. I would probably, against Ezreal, to avoid some of that, burst potential from like a kill lane or that harass, I would probably pick Soraka here. And then, someone like Corki would make sense. If they wanted to go Graves, that would be fine too.
Yep.
Graves can control the lane, really well with his Q. And that's the big benefit to Graves. It's just that he has so much lane control. You can just, decide where the lane is going to push him into the tower very easily. Yep. But probably, Graves Soraka is a pretty strong pick right now.
Yep. And also, with the Shen first pick, there's always that ambiguity. We don't know if he's going top yet. We don't know if he's going jungle yet. So there's definitely a possibility Legion can go ahead and grab someone a little bit more speed. Okay, now we got Kennen. Still semi-ambiguous. We're still not quite sure where everyone's going.
Well, he's probably going to go mid. Yeah, it is. There is that ambiguity. It's just from knowing what Legion plays. Corki definitely makes sense as that pick. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't pick the Soraka, but the thing is, Fornot, if they take Soraka, then that means that Ezreal Soraka is a very defensive lane, in which case Legion doesn't care. They're like, okay, have your defensive lane, that's fine. And if they don't go Soraka and they pick a kill lane, then Legion can then pick Soraka. But they wanted the Kennen. Prolly plays a lot of Kennen in the mid lane. Cruiser can play that Kennen as well, but Prolly really plays Kennen every single game that they get an opportunity to for Legion. And they go a double AP, oftentimes with Cruiser picking up Vladimir. So if I was Fornot right now, I would really consider getting Vladimir, for that top lane.
Actually, no, you got Soraka Karthus, the heal and the damage, both globals. They were nerfed a little bit, but they're still pretty damn good. So mid lane is, you're trying to make a farm lane out of it. But how does Ken and Karthus? Tell me a little bit about that matchup.
Kennen wins, but it's not really. Like Karthus, every matchup versus Karthus is basically that Karthus, this could be really cool if they end up doing that. Every matchup with Karthus is basically that Karthus loses the matchup, but he gets to farm from range, so it doesn't matter. Lay Waste has such a long range, you just safely sit back and farm. That's all you do as Karthus. So Kennen with ganks has the potential to dive on Karthus and throw off the ultimate.
Are we doing? Can we? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's really no chance that they would do that. It would be cool, but
Corki top.
Corki could go top if Fortnite had already picked their top lane, and if it was someone like Vladimir, then Legion could be like, oh, all right, we'll send Corki top, which would be unusual but not unheard of. Okay, so it's going to be Shen top.
All right, so Shen top, Maokai in the jungle, and Blitz going to be supporting the Corki, and one great grab onto Soraka can just pretty much spoil Fornot's bot lane for quite a good amount of time.
Yeah, and it's a pretty common matchup, but a nice thing with also going that Soraka is you can kind of play whatever support you want because Corki can hold the lane against anyone. You don't have to worry about the harass as much, but Blitzcrank will be very strong for later in the game, and he has a lot of disables and whatnot, so that's going to be very strong. Pick people off, try and pick up some kills, and then like you said, they have to play kind of defensively because if they get too close, then Blitzcrank's going to get a kill.
Right. So now we got options for top lane. Singed. Now coming on back here. Actually I've personally been seeing just a lot of Singed lately, just in solo queue quite a bit. And he's been a little bit under the radar for a long time. No one's really used him too much.
Yeah, he's making his way back. I actually played a game of Singed the other day, too. It's interesting. Singed, the big thing with Singed, he has solid lane control. There are a number of laners that he can kind of struggle with, but there's most lanes he can play kind of defensively and be okay. Singed needs to farm. I think a lot of people have been concerned with Singed against the Uber carry Bruisers top, but as long as you're not playing against one of those matchups, then you can do pretty well. Mid game, Singed is where Singed is at his best. So like if he can get into his late game build early, then he can just crush against in the mid game. Late game he will die again, and people can just ignore him sometimes, so it's not as big of a deal. But the fact the toss is really nice for disruption. You can control fights pretty easily, and then having that split push potential is always nice.
Yep. Usually what you want to do against the Singed top, just early ganks, just do so much against him. But the thing is though, right now with Legion, their top lane and their jungler, that's not the best damage output too. So I don't think they're going to get any early kills on them. Yeah,
no, it would be. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think if they gank really aggressively in the first couple of levels, they have that potential. If Shen can wear down Singed at all and get him low, because they have the follow-up CC. It's the fact that they have 2 CCs, so 3 CCs, 3 disables really. But the hard CC, if they can get the Shen taunt into the Twisted Advance, very quickly Singed would go down in the early levels. So we'll have to see if that's kind of the case. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that you're right. Maokai probably won't, will avoid top for the most part, and it's just going to be Shen versus Singed. Now, it's kind of an interesting matchup because Shen, he has, a lot of harass potential, and he can abuse Singed early on. So there you think, okay, advantage Shen.
Yeah.
However, after Singed gets a couple of levels, Shen just can't push fast enough against Shen. So I'm actually going to look up and see what Shen's runes and masteries are, because I'm wondering if he's running attack speed for his runes, because he's not. He's running movement speed and then some damage, actually. So he has high damage potential. The movement speed will allow him to close the gap pretty easily. Now, the issue he's going to have to deal with is that probably means they're going to be looking for kills against Singed early levels. So they're going to want to be aggressive, get some kills. If they can't get those kills and Singed becomes too tanky, all he's going to do is run up, insta-clear the wave, and then Shen's going to be sitting there auto-attacking the creeps. And he's like, wow, I can't kill these creeps fast enough. And it's just it's going to be a difficult lane for him. Like, he's just going to be constantly trying to push the lane off of his tower. So that means that Shen is probably going to want to build into something like Ionian Spark early on for that pushing potential. We'll see if he ends up doing that or if he just goes with a standard build for team fighting potential. That's obviously an option too. He's just going to have to watch out for the pushing potential that Singed has.
But also remember, you have Singed picking up the teleport. Shen also has teleport, so a lot of this could actually be some pressure in the other lanes. One of the best things you can do against, if you have a lane, if you're going up against the lane with a teleport, is try and force down other lanes and force a teleport, force the assist, force the top lane or your mid lane to actually come down and help, giving your own team some time to free farm in that lane.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that factors in. So, that is the nice thing with Singe going the teleport. He knows that his team wants to farm into a little bit later in the game. But Shen does have the Ignite versus Singe to teleport, so Shen has a little bit more killing potential, both in team fights and then also, in the early levels. And both of them, they'll kind of have to play carefully if they want to use the teleports, because both of them can easily disrupt the other's teleport.
Flip or taunt.
Toss or taunt, yeah. So, we'll see if that's the case. Karthus, he gives them a little bit more map control. So both teams, they have, that kind of global potential, Karthus and Soraka, and then the Singed as well for Fornot. So we'll have to see how that's going to kind of work out. But I don't know, the team for Legion is just such a high CC team, and they do run those kind of high CC teams frequently.
Yeah. And, Maokai has been pretty much like one of their favorites for a very long time, actually. They're really going for the support junglers. Want to make sure that they can go ahead, have the presence in lane, make sure that their carries are the real stars, trying to get that farm, trying to lead them into the mid game, to the late game. But we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a very interesting match top, and hopefully I'd like to see Nubish get a good grab or two onto Soraka and get some of those kills bot lane as well. But then again, Karthus, Takashi X, you get that farm, he's going to be a monster in the late game.
Yeah, no, they have that late game presence. The big issue for Fornot is going to be how Singe is going to factor in the game. That's kind of the one of the issues with him, is that he's kind of a weird champion. He can be unkillable, and he can run around and throw off a lot of disruption and have a lot of damage. And so, that kind of poison damage coupled with Karthus' AoE, that could be awesome. And you can easily win fights single-handedly as Singe. The issue is he's a little bit different as far as a damage dealer. Like, you need to just pick people off one at a time. You need to be very slow, just kind of kite in and out and have fights that last a very long time, because, the poison, it's not an instant thing. You need to just win the fight with your poison over a long period of time. So we'll see if they can do that. Nautilus, he does have that control where they can have longer fights. Karthus as well with the wall, so they can kite a little bit more easily. The issue is that Legion has so much follow-up CC and AoE that if Legion forces a hard engage in these later fights, then Singe is going to be like running around, not getting any burst damage. He's going to be running around just spewing poison, but Legion's going to be shrugging it off. They're going to be like, yeah, whatever. We'll take the poison damage. We're just going to fight right here and now win the fight. And, we'll deal with you later.
Well, and that's the best way to deal with a Singe, period.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of people just starting out is like, oh my god, it's Singed. He's doing too much damage to me. He's doing too much damage to everybody. He's right there in front of the fight. Let's just focus him down and try and get him out of the fight. And that's a very, very common mistake a lot of people make. Just don't be wasting your cooldowns on the tank. Don't be wasting your cooldowns on the guy in front. You need to just blast on through. Just roll with it, try and just take whatever damage you can, and then deal with them later.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how this is going to work out. For the most part, it's going to be kind of a defensive game early, and then, once Legion, they hit a couple of ultimates, we'll see if they kind of pressure things at all. They could maybe consider tower diving Karthus mid. That's an option, but if Fornot, if they keep an eye on things, if they have the good ward coverage and whatnot, then Nautilus could turn that around on them. They could pick up a couple of kills.
Well, I mean, the big playmakers are definitely going to be the junglers, because you have two junglers. You have Nautilus and you got Maokai with pretty damn good CC. So, I mean, if there's going to be any huge plays early on, it's going to be originating from them. They're going to be ones, trying to CC down either mid or bot. I think top is kind of like, I don't know. I mentioned the ganks earlier, top. I'm not quite, I'm not so optimistic that those are going to be happening. The big targets here. The big target is Karthus. Big target is going to be Corki. Try and get them out early, I think.
Yeah, but Legion, having the Corki, in those fights, with all of the CC and support that they have with, Shen and Kennen and Maokai, it's going to be really tough to get to Corki. So Legion, they're going to have that consistent damage in the backline, and Corki has enough damage that it's going to be kind of difficult for them. We'll see how that kind of works out. Shen could theoretically go bot lane if they wanted to send a 2v1 top. Shen can farm decently in a 2v1, and then Corki and Blitzcrank could just completely shut down Singe. That might actually be an interesting strategy.
Yep.
But Shen, if he can just farm well against Singed anyway and win that lane. And then we'll see. Both of them do skill well in the late game, but they were going right for
there
it.
In the middle of the bush, Legion charging on in. They don't have a care in the world. They got vision. Will they be trapped here? Karthus out in front, and there go straight for the back line. Who's going to get the grab onto Singe? That's not the one you'd be wanting at the moment here, but there you go. Probably is in the back line. Demonol is getting cut out a little bit as well. Demonol got less than 50 health. Martel, he's got the ghost. He flipped it, forcing the flash out of Corki. Otherwise, he would have been flipped to Kashix. You're in the middle of everything. No! One more auto tech on the Karthus would actually be do it, but there you go. Banana onto Prolly. He's low. He's very low.
Oh, the hook on Martel.
There you go. There's the first blood real quick, but we're not out of it yet. Exhaust going down onto Zeke and Takashi X. He is taunted. Another kill for
2
Legion.
kills. Can he get
there
it?
You go, but one bad bread also still behind.
Ezreal ticked
Something,
out.
anything. Wow.
Shen just got 2 kills with his taunt, maybe even 3 kills for his team. So Legion kiting backwards. Shen taunt allowed them to kill Karthus, and then he ignited and used his Q on Ezreal, and Ezreal just barely died to the ticks. So awesome play from Legion.
Is going to be entering mid lane with a lucky pick.
Yeah, no, that's
starting
insane.
out the game with a GP10. That is nuts.
He's looking for a 10-minute Deathfires.
That may happen.
Yeah.
It may actually happen. Maybe
He
even
could
sooner.
if he wanted to build it. He could buy it that early easily.
Could even sooner. Maybe he should get it sooner if he gets another kill on Takashi X or something.
He probably won't. Like it would be such a weird build, but if you got it that early in the game, it'd be pretty funny to just run around and try and kill people. They're actually going for this. So Brad, he's able to pick up his blue, but he's way out of position here.
Lattimore with the sapling. They know where one bad Brad is. You got the hook onto Blitzcrank. He's just looking for disruption. He's looking to do. Want to also see if they can't put Takashi X out of position as well. He's like, our guys are in our jungle. Maybe we should do something. I don't know. But Nubish out, walking in the jungle. He's strutting his way into lane, looking to help on Corki.
Here's the issue, though. Lauda Mortis, he actually walked up and stole the big wolf. So he stole the big wolf. The hook onto Zeke, it doesn't really matter. It seemed really exciting, though. I was excited for a second.
A lot of damage.
Yeah.
Still a lot of damage on this
but
Soraka.
he stole the wolf, so that's kind of nice for him. But the big thing is his jungle is so far behind at this point.
Yeah.
So even though his team is really far ahead, Maokai is behind, and he needs to catch up. Maokai, once he gets a couple of items, it doesn't really matter. He doesn't need items coming into the late game, but it could set behind some of those ganks, namely in the mid lane, where Kennen is looking to abuse Karthus, but might not have quite the same opportunities without the Maokai support.
Looking up top lane, you got Singe, you got Shen. Shen does have a pretty decent lead on him so far. There's the taunt straight up going in, and that's still a lot of damage coming in. There's a huge discrepancy there. I think Shen actually has pretty much a full level on Singed already with that 1 kill and those 2 assists.
Shen can absolutely abuse Singed in this early game, and having the regrowth pendant allows him to just harass more aggressively and know that he's going to regen very easily. So we'll see what he's building into there. He could go with the Philosopher's Stone. He could just build, we've seen the Shyvana versus Singed matchup where they had built the quick force of nature. So, that could be kind of interesting if Shen eventually builds into that. But we'll have to check it out. Maokai actually dueling with Brad here for a second. He will back off, though. Brad has the double buff, but they're both level 3.
Yeah, Lattimortis is also 3, but only has the blue, has to wander on down to grab the red for himself before he can go ahead and continue any more of this ganking madness. Probably also, establishing his muscle there in the mid lane, trying to force Takashi X away from those lay wastes. It's a pretty damn decent range, and he's doing okay farm-wise for the moment. But then again, remember, Kennen has the earliest GP10. One of the earliest GP10s I think I've ever seen, especially for a mid laner. So probably is looking to just snowball ridiculous and possibly harder than Karthus. It's not, it's not impossible.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case there. So we'll see if Kennen can try and harass Karthus and deny some of that farm. For the most part, he's been pushing Karthus underneath the tower, so that denies some. That will work some. They have the ward down bot, so Zeke with a nice job with that ward, not allowing Blitzcrank to quite be as aggressive. Nautilus maybe looking for a gank here. He's actually setting up for the mid lane. Lattimortis is pretty low, so he's going to have to go back. So we'll see if Nautilus ends up going in. No, he's just going to go back, clear his jungle.
Yep, so Singed is also going to go back. He's picking up a Philo Stone for himself, so he's looking to try and make a little bit of extra income top lane. But granted, this farm is pretty even considering up there in no man's land top lane. So right now Shen's gonna have an opportunity though to possibly pull out ahead a little bit. But here you go, Probably getting caught. One bad Brad sees him in the little river bush there, gonna hook, and I think he's gonna make it out all right. Demon Wall and Nubish relentlessly pushing down bot lane, forcing Parole to farm under tower. But then again, he also got Singed. He's setting up. He knows that the gank threat is real. Ward going down in the river right at the entrance of the blue buff.
Yeah, Nautilus getting some nice harassment on the cannon, so he's going to have to play a little bit more defensively. Cruiser, in the meantime, just constant damage on this, Singed is doing a really nice job there. Singed has gone back and got a Philosopher's Stone, though, so he's a little bit ahead of Cruiser right now. Cruiser has plenty of gold once he goes back.
But there you go, Probably in the mid lane, though, does get exhausted, does have to flash out to safety. The layways are actually still on point. One bad Brad's getting extremely low, though. He is ignited. Lattimore is something, anything. Yeah, Probably with the ignite will manage to get that kill. Twisted advance down onto Takashi X. The slam.
Oh, he's going to get the hook.
Keeping him. No hook.
But the sapling gets it.
Nice. Very well done. Very well done in mid. Good ganks, but there you go. The ignite their top lane, trying to make something happen on Singed, popping the ghost just to try and get away. Will ding. Will get the safety, but he's going to be forced to back. And in the meantime, Lattimortis ravaging the jungle of Fornot in the meantime.
Yeah, he is pretty low, so he's going to have to watch out for Nautilus a little bit here, but going to be fine. Oh, actually missing the Twisted Advance. So he was trying to get the Twisted Advance over to the mini golems, but he can recall.
Yeah.
He will be okay there. So we'll end up seeing. He might have just been checking, I guess, to see if anyone was over there. No, he gets it this time. But yeah, so nice 6-1 advantage for Legion already. They're playing phenomenally. Cruiser crushing Singed in this top lane so far, but we'll have to see how that kind of progresses. Singed has been keeping himself up. Getting the gold per 10 on Singed is huge.
And Lattimortis, I think, is just helping push top lane just to make sure that when Martello returns, he's gonna have to contend with the tower, to try and even get farm. Both our bros top lane are going to be recalling, buying themselves something nice. Kennen in the mid, in the meantime, did get the Sork shoes, get a little bit extra pen, and there you go. A lot of Mortis, move 5 boots, and the Oracles. Those early wards are going to be out of here very soon.
Wow, and Shen actually going with the double gold pretend. So that makes sense, but a lot of times you don't see the Philosopher's Stone, namely because the mana is wasted. But having the regen against Singed when he has that constant poison harass, yeah, it can work. So we'll see. It does give him nice health regen, which is always nice. A lot of times we've been seeing Shen going with the
but
cages.
Right now Demon is a little bit too far out there. Does go within tower range, but there you go. There is the Karthus ult doing all the extra damage necessary. Martel did teleport down to the bot lane. He's got the potion. He's foaming at the mouth. He wants something, but there comes the Shen. The response does not get the grab, but there you go. Lattimortis here with the Twisted Advance, and Cruiser ulting on down to help out. Does get the kill onto Parole. The sticky stuff going down, keeping everybody slowed, but the little sapling doing what he can. But the thing is, though, it's still not over. You do have Probably coming on down, trying to deflect Takashi X from coming down to help. And One Bad Brad is also could be getting himself in a bad spot. Martel faced, he knew the ward was there. He wanted to make something happen with Probably trying to get some harassment on Takashi X. The ult actually going down. That is so much damage from that little rodent.
Yeah, probably just absolutely crushing Takashi X there. So, that is the issue. He's so far ahead right now. Usually, Kennen doesn't have that quite as high of a damage output. He has a decent amount of burst, but not usually enough to kill anyone straight out. But he has so much burst now that he can, and he might actually. He has the Sork shoes. He's very close to finishing if he decides to go with it. A Deathfire's Grasp, and so the big thing the Deathfire's Grasp would give him is a little bit more extra burst, which Kennen lacks. He has good AOE damage, but not usually enough to kill someone from 100% to 0, but that could snowball him into that situation where you can just run around getting kills left and right. And in the meantime, Maokai actually running up, trying to pull out the red. I don't think they got it. I don't know if Probably was able to pick it up and just got a refresh on himself. Probably not. Yes, he did. So they went and they stole the red buff, and Probably actually got it. So Probably has a fresh red buff from Fornot, and that's going to be just fantastic harass in the mid lane.
I also got to notice, One Bad Brad, in terms of level, in terms of experience, he's very far behind Lattimortis by a good level and a half, almost nearly a good level. Just he's so far behind in experience. He needs to catch up, and having your buff stolen, having a prime source of experience and gold and ganking opportunities taken from you is going to do so much. Cruiser getting the taunt down onto Martel, a little bit extra harass damage, doing pretty damn well for himself right there. Jeez, that's a lot. I mean, I can't. That's a lot of damage onto a Singed.
Yeah, and that's the issue. Singed is very weak early on.
Yeah.
He has really nice regen later on, but not if you go gold pretend. And actually, Blitzcrank not getting the hook.
Forced it.
And it's kind of interesting. Yeah, Singed used to go Rush Catalyst, and that gave you the regen that you wanted. But now everyone's kind of moving into the gold pretend build, and it does get you into your late game items a little bit faster. It gives you that quick gold generation, but not having that early game tankiness can hurt sometimes, and this is one of those situations.
Down, a little bit more extra damage, dragging him back through into the creep line, but the Insanity Potion does trigger. But he's just going to stick around with it. He's not actually going to do too much. And now probably getting aggressive once again, stunned down on Takashi X. Not going to be doing a whole lot with it, though. The Ignite does go down, but the kill will not happen. Taunt through Singed just to try and get to safety, because One Bad Brad is here top lane. Cruiser will get out of there just fine.
Yeah,
and
but
Parole and Zekin using this opportunity to go ahead and push bot lane.
The big thing with the Kennen is that he didn't get the kill, but he forced out the exhaust from Karthus, so the next time the ult is up, he will get the kill. And he also forced the defensive
Nubish
nature.
getting the punch down on a Parole. He will shift out of there, popping the ult, getting the silence. Zekin is caught in the grab. Will he go down? He is ignited. Yes. Nubish will get the safety. And there you go, Twisted Advance down onto Parole. Is there enough damage to kill him under tower? Yes, there is plenty. And Kennen was there probably from behind just for the insurance. Good engagements from Legion. It's 11-2 right now. This is nuts.
Yeah, so they have really nice control. They can go after this dragon here. And yeah, it's just, I mean, complete control. 11-2. This game is really far out of hand for Fornot right now, and it's all from that level 1 fight. Demon Law was tanking for a second, backs off, so they get the dragon really quickly, no big deal. And none of the lanes are really, doing that well for Fornot. So we'll see. They can hold off decently. They can stall a little bit. But this is around the point in time where Legion, they recognize, all right, we have really strong team fight potential. And, they're going to want to force those fights. The Deathfire's Grasp is down on Kennen. So rushing the fast Deathfire's Grasp along with the Sork Boots, he's just going to have plenty of burst damage to just run right at Karthus, Deathfires, and then ult and pick up the kill.
I cannot wait to see the first time he brings that out, because this is going to be an absolute slaughter. No assistance needed from anyone. It's fine. Flash, ult, you're gone, you're dead. Maokai is setting up for the assist, though, so this may actually happen real soon. But you also notice Martel right now, screwing around enemy territory, grabbing the wolves while he can. The top lane he's pushing, so he just wants to go ahead and kill some time while he's doing, make something for himself while he's away.
And Karthus right now, he has to sit way back, and he's nowhere near the wave because he recognizes if he comes up, he's going to die. So he has to farm underneath his turret.
Ow.
And all that chunk damage just from the Shuriken. Nubish walking up once
Punch.
again, just
There
constant
go, on
harass, and then the
Parole.
pull back onto Soraka.
Nice.
Oh, wow, just really quickly dying. One more bomb will be able to pick it up, but she just barely gets out of there, and they do back off. So they did take some harass damage, but they are okay. Nautilus is here as well. Zekin, one more attack would have taken him down, but Parole
walking right into the punch,
again.
uppercut into the air. The exhaust does go down, and the hook from Brad didn't really get anything out of that. But Karthus ult is putting down a lot of damage. Shen ult coming in. He's going to be here soon, but will not be able to capitalize. Ult actually canceled.
And in the meantime, Kennen and Maokai are taking the blue buff, so they're okay there. But Nautilus is actually moving in onto Corki, just barely not able to get that hook. They were extremely low. They could have maybe picked up that kill, so they will back off there. And
look at
Maokai has
Takashi
another
X,
blue.
though. He's a little bit too far out there. Probably this is his opportunity. He's going quick stuns. There's the ult. DFG, lots of damage. A lot of Mortis, Twisted Advance. Where's the slam? More than enough. It's good. That's I highly considering DFG on Kennen now.
Yeah, I like the, well, it's, I mean, if you start off at such a huge lead, then,
yeah, might as well.
Yeah, but I really like the fact that Kennen just walked away and, was like, yeah,
I did
my
that.
my job here is done. Nautilus walking up to Loudon Mortis here, so Loudon Mortis is pretty low, but he has Kennen for the backup, so he should be able to get out of there.
And a 3-level
He does have to
lead
watch
as
out,
well.
though. I mean, he is getting pretty low, but he has the
Yeah.
ultimate, so he backs off.
He's got a 3-level lead on Brad. That's kind of unfair, actually. But then again, Brad unfortunately hasn't really really can't actually get in on a lot of these opportunities because he's so far behind, because the early level ones, and because of all the counter jungling that's been happening from Legion as well. The red buff steals.
I mean,
all
they're
the
so
creep
far
steals.
behind at this point in time.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure these guys, they're very friendly. Fornot and Legion, I think they're one of the team pairs that are kind of like always have a nice little rivalry and just kind of friends. But
Yeah.
Legion has to be happy with this game so far.
They really
Cruiser
have to be,
getting
yeah.
their ass on the Singe. Now it's starting to get to that point where they have to worry about Singed being tanky enough to just kind of push him into the tower. But Singed is, you know, pretty far behind as when compared with Shen. So it's not that Singed has been farming very effectively. So keeping up with Shen, you know, doing a really nice job there, along with the gold pretends. However, because everyone on Legion has such a huge advantage, it just means that Singed is just going to be squishy comparatively. So they're going to have enough damage to burst him down very quickly, and that's never a good situation for Singed.
Not to mention, you have, when you're in the lead, you can go ahead and afford to buy ridiculous items like the DFG, like an Oracles, which can, they ensure that you actually stay.
Oh, such a
in the lead here.
ridiculous item, that Oracles.
I know it is kind of ridiculous to have it just so.
oh,
early.
but he's going to die
There you
again,
go. Once
Takashi
again,
X.
Brawley, there you go with the old DFG, easy, nothing to him. There's, I can't
Yeah, but
think-
in the
I think
meantime, Maokai is dueling off with Singed and Nautilus. It is very close to going down. The flip back into Nautilus, and he's trying
He'll
to
be
chase him here.
fine, but
Loud Mortis very close to getting out, but there's the depth charge. He's able to
There's
push him off.
Brawley coming to join the fight here, but Nautilus, he knows he's got to back out. There's a lot of damage inside that cannon with all of that lightning, all those shurikens.
Martel
He
might
and the Ninja-
pick this up, though.
I don't think so. I mean, Brady's just he doesn't have enough proper damage output to deal with it. That Loudmorse, he did have the flash, he did manage to get away.
Oh, but you know who
Here
could
comes
pick this up? Ezreal, and Shen
Ezreal could, but
coming to
Shen
meet him,
got the
gets the taunt.
Demon Wall with all the damage necessary, though, does force him to back out of there so incredibly low. Loudmorse does manage to get the kill on the Nautilus. He is still caught in the poison, but Ezreal's the next one to go down. Taunt down on the Shen. Probably picks that one up. Quick 3 in the jungle for free from Legion. They can go ahead and grab the mid-tier 1 as well pretty convincingly. Takashi X now wandering back in the lane, and there's not a whole lot for him to do.
Yeah, and Legion's going to be able to pick up this mid tower. Oh, or not. So they back off. The Corki Kengu bot gets some of that farm. And it's just such a huge gold lead, 7K gold lead, and they have the stronger early game team. So, sometimes a gold lead can be deceptive. In this case, it's not. They are, way ahead. Kennen actually going with the Gunblade. So, with a Rage Blade. So that's really interesting. So Rage Blade, gives Kennen a little bit more pushing potential against the tower, gives Kennen a little bit more follow-up damage for auto attacks. But it is a really interesting build, and you can't always do that. Loud Mortis coming on Takashi X.
5 boots, he can go ahead and get that twisted advance despite the flash out, and there you go, all the damage necessary.
Yeah, no ultimate even needed.
Nope.
Probably taking him down very quickly.
Yeah, and that's that's definitely one of the reasons why you'd buy move 5 boots on a jungler, to close the gap. If you want to get your initiation on, if you need to get it in a hurry from someone who's trying to retreat, there you go. This perfect application, perfect reason to pick them up. Not always a good decision, but in cases like this, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how this kind of progresses. But, Singed, he's building into the Rylai's. He's getting it, he's not going for the Rod of Ages, so he's not going to be quite as tanky as you would like. But if he can finish the Rylai's, that could help him stun. That can stall very effectively. They have no answer for Prawley in this mid lane, though.
No.
And Prawley, Kennen is his #1 most played. Maokai coming down bottom. Corki isn't there, so they should be okay. Not really an issue. He's just going to clear out the ward. But Prawley, he plays Kennen so much, and we've seen it so many times before. He just knows exactly how to play him, and as a result, he can play these kind of more nuanced builds, take down this tower very easily.
Just right as soon as the tower's done, he just immediately ults. And here's the thing, Brad, he's 5 levels below Prawley at the moment. It's really just a non-issue.
Yeah, they just can't even fight him right now.
There you go, Pearl trying to retreat from all the damage. Demon Wall is pushing out, but there you go, from behind, Loud Mortis with the twisted advance does not stop the ult, but also, this allows for so much damage to be piled on top of it. Cruiser teleports down with the ult.
Oh, Demon Wall, get out!
Oh, Demon Wall, he will die. But might as well just give the kill to the Ezreal instead of the Karthus. Don't want to give him credit. Shut down, though. Also coming down to Maokai. Martel, he's doing some work. Can he actually get something going on the Prawley here? The creeps, the minions will be more than enough. Good work on the Martel.
Yeah, and Inubish is very close to going down.
the
Takashi X gets the kill.
Not paying attention. Not paying attention to that.
Decent turnaround for Fornot, but, basically
teleport.
Legion's just kind of relaxing. They're enjoying their game. They know that it's basically over. So We'll see. I mean, it is 7K. You know, Fornot could kind of pull themselves back into this. They are going to get this dragon, so
Oh, yeah.
that is a really huge turnaround for them. Being able to pick up 4 kills from Legion,
That was huge.
that's massive.
And Martel, that was just such a good timing on the teleport. Right there, or just clean up on everything. Because he's been having a rough time top lane. It's let's not sugarcoat it. It was a really rough match from the beginning to have Shen on such a huge lead entering the laning phase, and he needed something, and that's definitely what he needed. But there's still a long road to go. Mortis waiting on out. May actually get another twist advance. Dikachi X just staying high. Slam. There's a twist advance. Demon Wall there with all the damage. He got the Gatling gun, but he might be in a little bit of trouble. Depth charge going down. And I think, Legion, they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves, but here's Probably with all the damage necessary. Is his flash up? Yes, it is. Could flash ult in if there's a nice little Fornot cluster.
Yeah, and the big thing with that last fight was a lot of the damage was dealt by the tower. A lot of it was just they were getting low. And Probably in a head-on-head fight can just absolutely destroy and win those fights for them. So Fortnite always has to kind of worry about that. But having the Karthus, just all of that AoE damage and all of the burst damage from his ultimate, you can, very easily win fights. So we'll see if they can get them low enough where they can win those longer fights.
Kennen also picking up a needlessly large rod that's just going to enhance the damage even more. Brad being caught out, taunt going down. Cruiser and Loudomorse are here, twisted in advance. Well, that's a long distance to be traveling for that. And now it did flipped. Also further into turret range.
They just needed like an Alistar or something to finish it up, but they get the double kill, or the kill.
Oh, here we go. Got Parole being caught out by Probably here. But here's the thing, one bad Brad with the hook. Probably, can you get out of this? Ult is down. He used it on only one champ. That would have been a great application, but unfortunately for Not, they've got some pretty good positioning, and now they're looking to try and take this back. Are they going to rush it? I think they are. They're going to try and rush this Baron while Loudomorse and Probably are still down, or maybe just getting in position. There you go. Well, there's a Demon Wall and Nubish. They know they're there.
Yeah, I don't know if they can take the Baron. Karthus
they got to
does
try.
have a lot
they
of
have
damage.
to try. This is a desperation move. They really.
It is 100% a desperation
They really
move.
don't have much of a choice here.
They're going to get too low, though. They have to back out of there.
Oh, there's a Shirelius pop, though. They want kills. They want something, but Demon Well will get out of there safely. But here is Cruiser on his own. Brad right there with the spec. Going to keep him rooted. But will Takashi X go down in the process? Yes, he will. But they're going to Nubish also caught out. Karthus ult. It's not going to get a kill, but it's going to pile on that damage. Blitzcrank ult, keeping everyone silent. Ezreal right down the middle.
Yeah, and that's the key to back out of there. But Martel coming back into them, tries to get the toss. Loudomortis is waiting for him and actually gets the twisted advance into Parole. Throws off his ultimate as well. The hook onto Martel. But Martel is generally okay. He's pretty high health. Parole chasing down Loudomortis. They have to back out of there, so everything will kind of reset. But Loudomortis, another twisted advance because Prawley is here.
Prawley wants that damage. He wants those kills. Martel does manage to get something down onto the Maokai, onto Loudomortis. But I think that's about all they're going to get with Prawley back.
But it will be up in a second, and then Prawley can just, clean sweep whoever he wants.
I got to give credit, though. I got to give credit to Martel, because that Blitzcrank hook was really square aimed at Soraka, at everyone else. And Martel, like a hero, like a war veteran earning his medals, walks in front of the hook going, no, to save the rest of his team at the moment. And, wonderful, wonderful play from Martel, making the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, and probably peeking in for a second, but has to get out of there. Nubish going to be clearing out some Baron wards, so he's kind of stuck in the pit right now. He has to watch out for that.
One shuriken from Probably takes out nearly half of Takashi X's
he's kind of chasing down Blitzcrank here, so he has to watch
out.
Here.
There's still plenty of damage from the poison, but here comes Loudomortis, twist advance, keeping him still. Just wants to make sure clear the distance for Nubish's escape. But you got to see, Probably is still around, still nearby. Ult is up. Plenty of damage, too. You don't even really need it. You might want to save it for the big cluster team fights. But here's also the thing, too. Now it's been pretty well established, Fornot, you need to focus down Probably. And since buying the DFG, since buying the Rage Blade, usually with a lot of cannons, if you're being focused down, you'll sometimes want to get a Zonium's Hourglass relatively early because it kind of negates a lot of that. Sometimes, most of the time.
Yes.
The majority of the time you want to be getting Hourglass on cannon because it just keeps you safe while you're there, while you have your ult up, so you can just deal the maximum amount of damage. And that is, that's a drawback of the build that probably is, decided to go with. Granted, yes, it gets so many kills, it does so much damage, but now we're moving into mid-game. Now we're moving into full 5-on-5 team fights. We can only do so much, but there goes the Shurelya's pop.
With the twisted advance, and Shen with the follow-up. So unfortunately, one bad Brad going down very quickly.
Oh, yeah, Ezreal ult trying to make something there, but not a whole lot happening. Legion's in a good spot. Probably is going to decide to back. Is lower than half health. Just wants to go ahead so you can regen, possibly buy something. How much gold you got? Going straight for the death cap. I would, like I said before, I would have liked to see Hourglass, but still, we got a lot of game to go, and they're still very far in the lead. Damage is good.
The big thing is they don't have burst damage, and Cruiser actually jumping on Takashi X. He gets the taunt, but Takashi X with the flash out, he's going to be fine. The big thing is that Fornot, they don't have a lot of burst damage. So usually with the Zhonya's, you usually want to get it when you're going to be focused down, and they can kill you almost instantly. Most of their damage is sustained damage. So Karthus, he's just sustained AoE. He can't burst down Kennen that quickly unless he uses his ultimate. Zinj, he's just poison damage. So he doesn't really need the DF or the Zhonya's as much as he would in other situations. And with that Rabadons, he's just kind of expecting to insta-win fights for them. In the meantime, Shen still split pushing in the bottom lane. He was able to pick up that tower earlier, and they are able to clear out this ward, and then they can maybe force a fight or allow Singe to get to work.
Gotta look at some of the stats here on a project.
Oh, the flash twisted advance, and actually it glitches
bugged
onto the wall.
Oh, wow, but there you go. Zekin is still right there in the middle of this fight. Demon Wall manages to grab that.
And Kennen chasing Takashi.
Soloing out Takashi X. He's going to run. He should be fine, though. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Sometimes Maokai's twist advance gets a little freaky. But, oh, Martel caught out in the bush. That thing is warded right there. Twist advance right in the middle of everything. Pops the insanity potion. Really quickly running away. Nearly escaped death at that moment.
Yeah, and the Ghost as well. And it's really hard to chase a Singe at that point. But if Blitzcrank hadn't missed the hook, they would have had that kill. Yep. And then maybe, they can just push in, take some big objectives. But they're able to grab the dragon still. They're able to continue with the push. They have great ward coverage all over the entire map. So it's kind of key for Fornot right now. They have to kind of expect the ward coverage at this point from Legion. So, because Legion, they want to set up team fights. And the way you do that is by having the map control. So if Soraka can get that Oracles and clear out some of those wards, that could be huge. The issue is they're behind on gold, so they don't really have that option.
Yeah, the gold, it's been a near constant most of the game. They're behind. Oh, DFG just straight up on Takashi X Cruiser with the taunt. All the auto attack damage. Ezreal not getting anything, but will the Karthus ult be enough?
Oh, probably
wow, just barely not.
And it was the combination of the Lightning Rush along with the Maokai ultimate. So Maokai dropping his ultimate, and then the Lightning Rush, it gives you armor and magic resist. So the combination of the two of them was just barely able to hold off enough damage. I don't think if they hadn't used those abilities, I'm pretty sure Kennen would have gone down.
Yeah, because total Karthus, 500, nearly 600 damage. And that's how much does Kennen actually get off of the rush? What is it? Whatever. We'll go back to it some other time, because right now we got turrets going down. Fortnite actually, grabbing the tier 1 in mid. Still global gold for them. It gives them opportunity to catch up. And you got Nubish and you got Loud Mortis there. I really need to go back. I need to see these stats. These are stats people need to know.
The next one over.
Next one over. There we go. Lightning Rush. Let's see here. 30 armor,
30 magic resist. So 30 magic resist. That's about 64. A 15% reduction, and then also Maokai has a 15% reduction. So,
yeah.
That's a significant reduction, all in all, for how much damage that is.
So that brings Kennen up to nearly 100 magic resist.
20%. Yeah.
Yeah, which is about a 50% reduction straight out, then an additional 20% reduction from Maokai. So that's about 300 and doing some math.
For what?
So about 210 damage, I think that was reduced to.
Oh, yeah. Whereas it would have been at like 400, 350
actually,
before it. So, it's pretty significant.
Spell pen. Then you got to calculate.
We have the idea. We got
a good idea. Yeah, we're not. This isn't. I'm not in math class right now. I haven't been in a math class in like 8 years. College was a very long time ago. But you still got this going on. Probably still doing very well for himself. You also got Randuin's. There's the Ionic.
Oh, the flash taunt.
Nice flash taunt. Keeping Takashi still the hook. Just barely not grabbing.
Nubish, where's the follow-up? Cruiser's angry. His team, I don't think they even expected it, but he was close enough. He wanted to get up the quick kill. Mortis in the meantime pushing down the top lane. He's going to get that pretty easily, and then we'll see if Legion kind of groups up at all. Demon Lull chasing down Martel, actually dropping him very quickly. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't just Valkyrie for that and try and pick up that kill.
Still, now Legion, they're trying to push their objectives as much as they can. They're still semi-split. You got Maokai, you got Latimore's top lane looking to split. There you go, Taunt Cruiser, not really getting a whole lot of that one. But if Legion just groups up in the mid, they could just go ahead and probably take out mid tier 2 outright if they really want to pressure us, if they really want to. But they're still very content in just kind of like traveling around in packs, trying to snipe people out. But they have the ward coverage. They have great, sufficient ward coverage. Shen is bot lane. He can rejoin the fight whenever. He's got his ultimate. He can get there if he needs to. Legion, they're going to start on this Baron and try and just secure the rest of this game with this kill. One bad Brad is not too far away. The Blitzcrank grab does miss, but it does tell Fornot where they are at the moment, and probably is leaving the pit. Shirelli is being popped. He wants to close the gap. He wants Takashi X dead, but there you go. But now probably is actually behind the wall. It's going to have a little bit harder time. It's going to take him a little while longer to actually join the fight, but there's the hook down onto One Bad Bread, and probably he's there in the middle of everything, getting the kill down onto Takashi X, and there's the ultimate, trying to do as much as possible. The Karthus ult does get Blitz, does get Cannon, and now Cruiser has, Latimore's have to do the best of what they can. One Bad Bread getting caught behind does fall to Shen. Taunt missing Soraka, and Demon Lull is a little bit too far out, but there's a ward in the bush.
Is full health right now, and he's on a rampage. He's going to be able to pick up a couple of kills. The twisted advance from Mortis onto Singe, but Demon Lull getting some nice damage, but gets the toss, and actually almost picking up Zeke. One more bomb could do it, but he gets the Valkyrie.
Nice, very well done, but here's the thing. Martel is still around. He throws down the slow, but can he actually get out of here? Poison doing what it can, but unfortunately Demon Lull will not be breathing that in. He will be safe, but that is a Baron denied for the time being, though. They did make them decide to leave the pit and start that fight. And wonderful initiation from Fornot. Probably actually just completely just was shut out from the immediate start of that fight. Was trapped in a river. Couldn't rejoin.
It was actually kind of a misplay by Prawley. So, Prawley, he could have flash ulted, but the big thing was not that he, was stuck in the river, because he could have easily flash ulted and then just killed everyone and won the fight for them. Then, instead of doing that, he runs into the fight so he can get the lightning rush in. But instead of throwing off his ultimate as he's lightning rushing, he held onto the ultimate way too long. They were able to chain CCs on him, and along with the silence from Soraka. So all of a sudden, great play by Fornot there, but then, Prawley, because he didn't pop his ultimate soon enough, just ran into the team without getting his full lightning duration off. So he was able to get a little bit of damage, but nowhere near as much as you expect to with as farmed as he is right now.
But and with that income though, I mean, he has a chain vest, he has an enormously large rod, about like 500 more gold, and he will finally then have the hourglass. He will be safe in those team fights. He will be able to just go in and do all the damage he can. But for
they're
now,
just
though,
going for it.
It's good, going right again, right for the Baron. You might as well. The Oracles is there with Mortis, but there you go. Ezreal ult trying to do something. Martel, he's out in front. He's got the gas. Ult from probably going down. They want to kill Singe, and they want to get him now. That will happen. Corki getting that kill, and now Mortis trying to make something of it. Where's the twisted advance? Down onto Nautilus, Death Charge going down onto Demon Lull. Parole trying to kite the best as he can. Zeke is there from the bush as well. Mortis will fall in that fight. Karthus is not in this fight yet, but there he is, the grab. There you go. He wasn't in the fight. There he was. Blitzcrank brought the fight to him.
Yeah, and he's not going to get his ultimate up in time. It was close to proccing cooldown, but he still has time on it. So Legion is able to take control of that, and Nautilus is very low. If they can chase them down, Kennen as well, they have to watch out for Ezreal, but they are okay, and they can continue to push. But this game, Fornot has been able to bring it back to them.
They're nearly...
it's almost even. Or at the very least, they haven't lost any more of an advantage. So Legion hasn't pushed it.
They're nearly 10k behind, but yet these team fights are actually... They're starting to even up. That last fight was just a simple 2-for-2 really quickly. But now Legions are a little bit trapped in the Dragon Pit. There could be enough damage potential here just from Parole. They need to keep him alive. Just make sure that probably doesn't chunk him out immediately. The ult from Nautilus was using that last fight. There's the hook down. I'm probably going to keep him still. His ult isn't up. There's a wave coming in from Ezreal. We'll be able to get anything from this. Cruiser does get the quick kill down onto Nautilus. Parole does actually go back into the pit. Zeke get caught out. But here comes the Karthus ult. Gets, Shen ult actually saving Prawley there.
Yeah, but Singe just coming down, so they're going to have to watch out for that. Cruiser trying to get out of there, Prolly as well. Martel is going to try and get a toss back. He might be able to get the kill onto Prolly. If he can get that toss, he does get the slow, but the stun really excellently executed by Prolly. He's able to get out of there.
Will rush to safety. Nubish could have, if you really wanted to get a grab, but I think you really want to be bringing a Singed closer to you in a situation like that. You want to go ahead and keep your teammates safe. But still, though, fantastic initiation from Fornot. They got the kill, they got Demon Wall, and 2 for 1. The fact they can still make these exchanges is still incredible considering how far behind they've been for pretty much all game.
Yeah, so we'll have to see, if Legion can start to have a little bit more of an organized fight, if they can, get their AoE damage and disables. The big thing is keeping Demon Law alive, so if they can keep him alive and well through these fights, that could be great. He actually picked up a Banshee's Veil, which is interesting. It's been a while since I've seen it, but Karthus is actually caught out. Maokai has him trapped as well. Cruiser's going to get in, so Twisted Advance into the taunt. Very quickly, they burst him down, and that's an easy win situation for Legion now. So if they can, force a fight or something, they can easily take it out, because not only is he dead, but they didn't waste the Cannon ult doing it.
No, that is key here. That is absolutely key here. And that's, Cannon ult, got to give a quick damage update too. Just exactly how much with all 631 AP on the Prolly right now. That Shuriken does damn near 700 magic damage, if not more. But there you go. Legion still trying to attempt this Baron, and once again, they're actually breaking off to try and get more kills onto Fornot, and then now returning. But here we go, Parole, he's out in front. He has something to say about Prolly. Getting depth charged. He's going to be still while the ult is up. So there's a little bit of an ult wasted.
Singe with the beautiful play. So when Kennen flashed into the middle of their team, Singe turned around, tossed him out. So it was the Singe toss into the depth charge that locked him out of there. So his entire ultimate was completely wasted. Really nice play by Fornot.
But here's the thing, Fornot still needs to defend this push in mid. There's just been so many Barons denied. And Legion, they keep on breaking away to go ahead and try and engage these team fights, to try and go for kills. If they were able to actually get a Baron earlier, this game could have been long done. But Fornot, they're doing a fantastic job baiting them out. And hey, Singed is great in situations like this. You need someone to just go ahead, rush in, brave, just absolutely, brave to no end to try and start these fights. That's the guy you need. Cruiser singling out Takashi X there in the bot lane. The exhaust forced, but then you also got the wish burn from Soraka as well, just to go ahead and keep Takashi safe.
Yeah, really nice play, and he's starting to split push some. The rest of Legion is moving up in the top lane. Nautilus is there as well, so he catches an eye on them. Singe will split push against him, so Singe has the teleport up. They can, exchange damage very evenly. I'm not sure who would come out at this point. It seems that Cruiser's a little bit ahead, though, and he has the pushing potential with that Ionian Spark. So that was definitely a nice build by him. Going into the Wit's End afterwards for that attack speed, he's had that for a while now. But Legion, they can push down this mid lane. The wave clearing from Ezreal can stall for a little bit.
Yeah, I'd love to just see, actually, I should correct myself. I don't want to see Singe and Shen just go 1v1, because it would take forever. Twisted Advance going down onto Ezreal. He does shift out to safety. Zegan does get grabbed by the Blitzcrank. Now Lattimore is a little bit out of position and will die before the Shen ult finishes, so he will not be joining in that fight. Legion actually forced to back off. A little bit of a misplay. Kind
of a weird initiation by Louda I think he wanted Prolly to follow up, and they just wanted to AoE everyone before Singe got there.
He twisted advanced Parole, and Parole shifted away at the right point where Louda landed where Parole was, and Parole was rooted where he shifted to. So it actually, he was CC'd, but so far away from the rest of the team, and Louda just continued to go in.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just kind of tough. They're trying to force fights, and they just can't get the right fight that they want. And, Martel, he's fast enough, Singe is fast enough that he doesn't even really need to use his teleport. So you saw that last fight. He's able to just run on over. He knows that, he can come in a little bit late. It's going to be fine. Demon Lull will have enough damage, though, to take out Brad. He gets the hook, but it doesn't matter. He's going down, so really nice play. Getting caught out of position, though. And so Shen can continue that split push while Legion makes their way top.
Oh, but Takashi X, he's a little bit too far out. I think he knows it, too. I think he's in a little bit of danger. Wall pain going down just to try and keep Blitz and Cannon away from him. But he's going to be retreating the long way just to try and find a safe place to recall from. Martel, he's around as well. He's got his poison gas. Wow. He can do something.
He gets out. He just recalls right in the middle of their base. They aren't really that concerned.
Well, the thing is, though, with Takashi X having to go back, This allows them some time to put some additional pressure onto mid, see if they can't get a little bit more damage onto it. And it's about a quarter health left. With this minion wave, does Parole have the ult? No, he does not. But granted, you still can clear the waves pretty effectively. Probably does get flipped, but there you go. Mid tier 2 does go down. No hook from Nubish, but he is chunked up pretty low. Martel is slammed. He will be staying still for a second, but there's the flip down on the Prawley. Will the damage be enough? Yes, the shutdown coming in from Martel. Cruiser's in the middle of this fight, and he's a little bit of trouble. Brad not getting anything off the hook, and there's the Zonias on Takashi X, keeping him safe. And now Prawley down. This is now Fornot. They're taking the opportunity to just try and flex their muscles. Like, hey, yeah, we took out your AP. This is our time now.
Yeah, the Karthus wall absolutely crushed them when they were pushing the tower. Blitz trying to get out of there. He will be able to, but they are going for this Baron, and they have plenty of damage with Ezreal and with Karthus combined.
Oh.
The hook just missing on Takashi X. They could have maybe
Takashi X, he needs to get in
there,
though, if they want to take out this Baron quickly enough. But granted, yeah, probably he does have 30 seconds, but that's a lot of time for Demon Will to go ahead and chunk from a distance. There's a lot of time for Cruiser to go ahead, get a taunt. Baron almost going down. There you go. Fornot has grabbed the Baron. Takashi X getting chunked out a lot though, but yeah, that's fine. He'll have the ult. He'll have all the damage necessary. It's coming on down. Who's he gonna get? Manages to get Maokai on that one. Blitz does go shortly after Shen's there, and there you go. There is the ace from Fornot after grabbing the Baron.
Insane.
They're back in this.
Fornot coming back in this game. I mean, they have the really strong late game, but Legion, they had enough damage early on. They should have been able to pick up fights. I think they were a little bit lackadaisical in their execution, so Fornot able to pick up some advantages here. The Karthus wall is absolutely devastating, and the short-range team that Legion has, Kennen getting caught out or anyone getting caught out by the wall is huge, and then the fact that Singed has that movement speed to just chase people down and pick them up kills, and that single target focus is huge.
Insanity Potion Drock by Singed. He's not going to be able to get
the inhibitor.
Yeah, they're going to get the inhibitor, and probably he's going to be the only one defending for at least another good 10 seconds. You got plenty of time. Grab the inhibitor, get out of there, push other objectives. Bot turret is actually getting pretty well pushed. You got a nice wave there. You can go ahead and take that one next. So this is this is the point. This is late game where any team fight, swinging to a favor, an ace could actually mean game here. Like Fornot, they've gotten with that ace, they got the Baron. They managed to get an inhib, so many towers, so much more global gold, and what's been nearly a constant 10k swing all game is now being reduced quickly and drastically after this dragon. It should only be about a 5k deficit in which another tower, another inhib, they can just make this game very even in gold within the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, the big thing is they don't have enough follow-up damage to just take out Fornot right away if they want to. So I mean, Legion, they can't just dive at them and get all the kills. But then the issue is Singed and Karthus, they can pick people off very easily and they can chase people down. So Legion, they have decent initiation, but if they don't get the right fight, then Fornot can just basically decide when the fights are going to happen. And Chain seeing people, they have plenty of damage at this point. And very quickly, they've come back into this. The Will of the Ancients, and then a Quicksilver Sash for Kennen, actually. And the big issue with Kennen is these entire fights. Like the last fight, he couldn't even get his Zonias off. And it's the CC from Fornot. And the last fight in particular, another silence from Zekin. So Zekin always getting the silences off onto Kennen has been just throwing up so much disruption. So he wants to be able to get into the middle of the team, throw off his ultimate, just throw off the Quicksilver Sash so he can get out of the CC and then get his Zonias up. So he can try and control the fight, try and just burst everyone down.
Anyway, that really is also a problem too. If you have one teammate who's getting so incredibly fed on their own at the start of the game, you really need that one member to actually be there to swing all the fights in your favor. And if you get caught out, if you get bursted down, if you're out of the fight, the first one to go, your team fights fall apart. And that's unfortunately, what happened during the mid game. Ken just got so incredibly fed.
Wow. That's actually, I just want to point out, this is the first time I have ever seen this item ever. Moonblade, Silver Blade, whatever.
Moonflare Spellblade onto Karthus.
It's the CC reduction item. So Tenacity item, when they made the Tenacity changes a while back, and there was kind of a lot of talk about how it isn't worth it as an item. It just, what it gives you is no big deal. But Karthus, he needs that mobility. They have a lot of CC. He doesn't want to be just disrupted by Kennen. So
this is a good opportunity. This is a really good, that's actually, I agree. with that
I'm not
pickup
sure.
a lot.
I mean, I'm sure he could do with more damage or like, some other survivability items, but it's an interesting item. It gives you ability power, so it gives you damage, and it also gives you, some stuff. I think he could go for Abyssal Scepter, but Singed already has an Abyssal Scepter, and Singed has a Rabadon's too. Oh, the hook from Minubish, not going for it.
Not gonna be
I thought they could have he could have just bursted him down, and that could have been a
But I
nice
think
win
understandably though, like Legion, they're a little bit hesitant though. But they will get the hook. One bad Brad, kind of an awkward hook out, but he does manage to get it. Karthus going to be the first thing entering the match, entering this last fight here. Over this not this last fight. This fight here at the tier 2 and top. He wants to get it out. He wants to get it out of the way. He wants to get it started. If he does manage to die suicide into this, he wants to be able to pressure on the tower, deal as much damage as he can with the AoE, with the layaways. He wants to be able to aim those. Probably going in. Will he be able to do something here? Shutdown from Shen going down onto Ezreal. Takashi X very low. Will manage to fall. Probably turning this one around as well. Managed getting a kill onto Singed. Also, one bad Brad being chunked out huge. And Zekin, last one remaining. That is a counter ace.
Yeah,
from
and a
Legion.
5-0, and the big thing was catching out Ezreal in the front. And so probably, oh wow, Parole actually DC'd. I was going to say, it was weird. Like, Ezreal just all of a sudden was in the middle of their team, and it was just that he started attacking and was out of position. So Legion will be able to take out this inhibitor here. Parole, leaving, hopefully he gets back into it. But that was the big thing. Ezreal was completely out of position. He went down to their CC and probably just flashed into the back of the team and took out Takashi X basically by himself. Takashi X did pop the Zonias, so he was able to live for a little bit, but it wasn't enough. They are going to get the inhibitor here very easily. They could consider tanking another tower and getting a second inhibitor, but they're actually just going to back off. So they have enough time where they could probably do it, but they're going to back off and then just continue the next push, win one more fight.
Unfortunately, you got the lanes all pushed against them, so it's a little bit of a stretch to try and take any more towers. Other than that, it's just going to be a straight out tank. You're going to have to tank every single one of them, but they will fall back. They can go ahead and go home. Comforting in the fact that they managed to take out the Baron on the Fornot, and they've regained their 10k gold lead here as well. So, Demon Lord, though, he's going to take an opportunity to farm it, but now we're starting to close in onto the super late game. I mean, everyone's item build is just pretty much nearing full completion here, if not already. Like, I can already tell, Cruiser's got so much gold on him. Very soon he's just going to start stacking elixirs.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, they do have a very tanky team up front. As long as they can kind of survive through the burst in the Karthus. So being able to front load the Karthus damage for Legion is just huge. If they can force Karthus to use his ult early so that they can kind of judge the fights a little bit better, that's just going to be perfect for them, because then I don't know, it's just easier to run things, and they can maybe win a fight. Parole is back and alive and ticking, so really nice job. He might have just CC'd or DC'd so he doesn't look quite as bad, but yeah, we'll see if Legion can force another good win fight.
Mortis out in front. Oracle's on him too. He should be able to see that ward as well. But see, now we're in a little bit of a tricky spot, because now next big objective, it is going to be when Baron respawns. Inhibitors. There you go. Baron has spawned. Beeline immediately.
Oh, Karthus
Legion
is bottom.
Going straight for it. Yeah, Karthus was seen bot. Takashi X, he's got a long way to go before he's going to be joining this fight. And Legion, they have the damage, absolutely, to try and rush this out. Martel out in front, trying to do what he can, but a taunt from Cruiser. There's a grab from Nubish. Zekin will not be popped up, but there you go. There's Legion with the quick Baron while Karthus was away. Martel going to be out in front. Should be the first one chunked out. There's a Randuin's pop, but it's not going to do anything. A lot of Mortis will die in the process. Was off trying to fight
the taunt hook.
There you go. Taunt after the hook. There you go. Zekin will be chunked out there as well. Hourglass being popped by Probably following the QSS, but there you go. We'll also take down Takashi X with him.
Demon Lol is low, though. Parole could turn this around.
Parole, he's got here the last one. Can he be a hero here? Takashi X will not be able to do a whole lot while he's dead, unfortunately, because everyone's moved away. But you still have 3 members of Legion with the Baron buff. You got Parole. People aren't coming back up for at least another 40 seconds.
That is about as good as it gets for Legion. So not only were they able to rush the Baron, but by rushing the Baron when Karthus was away, Karthus had to front load the ultimate again. So they were all standing right in the middle of Maokai's ultimate, so 20% damage reduction on the ultimate, and it was front loaded very easily. They're able to win that fight then. The AoE from Karthus, it did wreck them for a little bit, but because Takashi X was slow, he needs to be in the beginning of those fights. The AoE was just a little bit too late, wasn't able to do quite enough. They get another inhibitor inhibitor, and now Legion has brought this back. They can transition top. They have enough time. They could actually go for a third inhibitor.
I'll let you know, the minion wave is going to be plenty.
Oh, it's going to be close.
But there you go. You got this first
Singed is
Nexus
back,
turret
though.
going down. Singed is back. There you go. Demon Will getting the last pick on that turret. But there's a pretty huge minion wave up top that's been pushing for quite a while, but that should be taken care of.
That's why I kind of thought that they would go for the top lane, because Singed was going to be back. But the Nexus, it was closer. They didn't have to worry about the walk up to the top lane, and the fact that, you know, if there was any delay, if they were too slow getting out, Singed was just going to chase them down and try and pick up a kill, or just stall them long enough for the rest of his team to revive. They are able to get that Nexus, though. They have 2 inhibitors down. They grab the Dragon. They have the Baron buff on 3 of their members, and so it's just going to come down to this one last fight.
It could very well here. Everyone from Legion, they're buying what they can if they haven't bought everything already. Shen actually going to go ahead and picking up a Madrid's Blood Razor just because he can't really think of anything else left to buy. Who else? Is anyone actually stacking elixirs? Probably stacking elixirs. He's glowing like crazy at the moment. But Fornot, they're doing what they can to try and minimize the creep waves pushing here top lane. You know, mid and bot, fortunately enough, for pushing pretty well on their own, so they can go ahead and kill a little bit of time there. But if Legion does a pretty huge press onto top lane, Fornot can't defend that thing forever. The super minions will continually push and eventually get into their base, and they are already down 1 Nexus turret. So it's a matter of minutes. It's a battle of time here.
Yeah, and they can transition into the top lane now, and bot is going to push very easily. Cruiser could split, but he probably doesn't want to at this point, because split pushing, you're coming a little bit late into the fight. It's not that big of a deal, but Shen wants to be there at the beginning of the fight, wants to get off the CCs that he needs to.
But also in a lot of these fights, too, Fornot's been very good at focusing down whoever's being Shen ulted, and a lot of times during this game, Cruiser's not in these fights because Prolly has been chunked out too quickly.
Yeah, and so in the meantime, Prolly getting some harass damage on this tower. It's down to half. They are able to get out of there. So out of the Karthus wall, Fornot, they might need to just force a fight really quickly. Mid tower, or mid inhibitor is back up again. Legion can transition into there.
Transition on in. They want to make sure that they can get that thing to continue the super main push. Martel out in front along with Takashi X. They're a little bit split. One bad Brett is out in front. Takashi X getting chunked out very quickly. He's got the AoE up. He's popping the hourglass, and probably now jumping in with the ult. Goes down near immediately. Martel, fantastic job there. Lattimore should be going down to the Karthus ult. Yes, there he goes. Takashi X wants to go ahead. He wants to get this push going. Cruiser with the ult, trying to shield as much as he can. Demon Wall should be going down next. Nubish is out and back. He can't do a whole lot. Pop up, that's all he can do. That's all the robot can do, and Fornot is actually taking this fight. Blitz had a GA?
Yeah, so another ace for Fornot. Idubish will go down a second. Now there's the ace, and so they did save their inhibitor.
I didn't
it
even realize
low, though.
Blitz had a GA. My
Soraka
God.
is almost dead, and she had to pull the minions off. So the minions almost killing her there. Parole actually pushing away, and Parole, he's actually going to try and rush it, and he has enough time. He just has to watch out for the minions. The minions will be very close to taking him down.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, the minions mid could easily get that inhibitor, so they're going to have to watch out for that.
This is a marathon run for Parole right now. He has his objective. He's got enough time, 20 seconds until Prolly's up. It's just a matter of Takashi X and Zekin defending while he's out. Should be able to take this pretty quickly, though.
Yeah,
so
he's got it.
Yeah, he's got it. His inhibitor down. So he won't be able to get any other objectives off this. Possibly some
How low
minion
is
steals.
bot, though? He's actually transitioning to bot lane.
Oh,
yes,
bot,
he's going to get the turret.
But Prolly
No,
is back.
Get out.
Prolly's back up, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, so he just wants to be safe. He gets the inhibitor, so that helps stabilize them a little bit. They can stall out even longer. One inhibitor is still down for Legion, but that's the thing. Singed can just force fights very easily, and Fornot, they wanted to force a fight there despite the Baron because they had the potential for winning it.
You know what? This just came to mind. I just remembered this just now. This is game 1.
That's true. It is game 1.
And we're on the 53rd minute, and this is game 1. This is crazy, ridiculous, back and forth this entire time. Hopefully game 2 won't be as long. You know, fingers crossed, but you never know.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a big blowout, and one team just wins in 15 minutes, and it's not enjoyable at all. That sounds perfect. I'm kidding.
Hey, wait, there was that Dignitas match.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Dignitas match wasn't a good match. That's why it was over so quickly.
We're definitely getting a good amount of entertainment value for this one because now we're in super late game, super late game even. Like the next team fight could very well decide the rest of this game, and Ace pretty much seals it. But there you go, Legion, they're still pushing through. There is a mid inhibitor still to be taken out. It's regen to about half since they've been away. Takashi X, he's been out in front. He's getting checked out.
Hook.
The hook not getting anything off of that, but Takashi X is playing a very, very dangerous game right now, trying to put those layways down. Demon Wall through the wall is actually getting a huge chunk. Nubish, another ward over through the wall. He wants a hook. He wants to grab. He wants anything, preferably not on Singed. If he manages to get that, that could spell game for them. But there you go, ult just to deflect Legion just a little bit. Martel, he's dancing out in front. He's got the poison. He's like, you do not want to be walking through this. You do not want to be getting through to my team. There you go, Nautilus trying to get the slows, trying to get anything he can. All the while, Legion trying to chunk out this inhibitor. Martel out in front, a little bit of poison damage. A little here, a little there. Maokai ult out in front. That's a huge chunk of mana to be investing there. But one man red, there's a Shurelius pop. Will we see something? There's a death charge down onto Demon Wall in the back line. Loudomortis with the twisted advance down to the Takashi X. Should be going down pretty quick. Kennen ult trying to do what he can. Loudomortis, Demon Wall getting a kill onto Sin. Takashi X will be going next one go down. His ult is up. He could use it if he wants to. Legion. There is the Karthus ult.
Loudomortis close to going down, but he doesn't. He's just too tanky. And Legion has this with the Demon Lull being high enough health. They still have to watch out for Parole, but Parole is won't be able to deal with them. One bad Brad Gownie getting caught out. The taunt, and actually Maokai twisted advancing onto Parole, and now Demon Lull is squaring off with him. He gets out of there. The Shen ultimate onto Loudomortis, so he's going to be alive. Demon Lull still chasing him out. They get the inhibitor. Probably coming in, trying to get that Shuriken for the kill, but they're moving on to the Nexus. They're going to be able to take down the Nexus. Parole doesn't have enough damage to face off with the team. Zeeket going down to Inubish, and then actually Inubish chasing down Parole. Will he get the hook back from the tower? It doesn't really matter. They pick up the kill underneath the foul.
That is the ace, and Legion finally taking this game in the 55th minute.
Yeah, awesome play from Legion. So they're able to pick it up, and then taking out Fornot. Fornot almost able to bring it back. Hey, Legion, they needed to redeem themselves from the earlier play in the game. So crushing early on, but then a couple of missteps, a couple of poor fights, and they almost threw it. So they almost threw it. But it was a toss. It was they're playing a game of catch with themselves. So they threw it and they caught it. So they were able to pick it back up.
I think was that the longest match we've ever had on stream?
No, we've had really long matches. I
can't even remember.
It's
anymore.
around it, but
it's close.
I think we've had matches that went over an hour.
I think I really need to look back now. It's just like now I'm curious. Now I barely remember breakfast. Like that's how far my memory goes. I don't even remember meeting the Baron for the flops intro thing. Anyway, but wow, that was. I think we all could use a nice little break. I think we'd all use a nice little snack break or bathroom break. We're going to be back. Game number 2. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be entertaining. Fornot and Legion. We will be right back with this IPL show match.